Hello guys, welcome to this tutorial. Today I'll be showing you how to use Bootstrap 5 in your websites to create clean and responsive looking websites. Using Bootstrap is a very easy process and it is easy to use and easy to learn. So first thing that we need to do is we need to create a HTML file called index.html. Okay, and inside this HTML file I'm going to create a boilerplate. For that I'm going to write exclamation and enter. This will create a boilerplate HTML code and I'm going to write hello world. Okay, now what we need to do is we need to run this HTML using live server. Okay, now we can see our site is running and we can see this hello world over here. Now to include Bootstrap, what we need to do is we need to go to the documentation of Bootstrap. So for that, just open a new tab and go to this website called getbootstrap.com. Okay, this is the official documentation of Bootstrap. Now what we need to do is go to this read to docs button and click it and we'll reach this introduction page. So first what we need to do is we need to include the Bootstrap library so that okay, we can use the Bootstrap CDN or we can download Bootstrap and include it. It's using the CDN is more easy, so we just need to copy this and come back over here and replace this with the code that we copied. Now if we come back over here, we can see the text font has changed, indicating that Bootstrap is successfully included. Okay, now we can start using Bootstrap in our project. And first thing that we need to do is we need to include everything inside a component class. So for that I'm going to create a div with a class called container and put this inside the container. Now what we can do is we can just go to the component section and use whatever components that we want as we need. Like if you want a nav bar at the top, just go to this nav bar section and if you come over here and copy this and paste it over here and come back, you can see this nav bar. Okay, okay, so to change the color of the nav bar, we can just come here and scroll down. You can see that there are so many different types of nav bar. So you can use whichever nav bar you want according to your requirements. So here, we come over here and copy this. And just paste it over here. You can see a nav bar has changed the color. So Bootstrap is basically copying and pasting from the official documentation and just changing the components according to our needs. So now if you want to add a card, just come over here and scroll down. This is a basic card and just copy this and you need to get rid of this. Okay, and if you come over here, you can see a card is included but there's no image, so there's no image, so we can just replace it with any image that we find. And if you come back over here, you can see a beautiful looking card. Okay, now we can have multiple cards. Yeah, so when you put more than one card, you can see that it's going down. For that we need to make this layout responsive. So for that we need to use the rows and columns classes that comes with Bootstrap. So it's a bit confusing sometimes for new users to understand how to use these rows and columns. So first of all, what we need to do is we need to make sure that you are inside a container class. There are two types of container class, which is one is this and another one is called container fluid. Okay, container fluid has a smaller padding compared to container. That's the only difference. So we can use either of them. So I'm going to use container in this example. So inside this container, what we need to do is we need to create a div and give it a class called row. Okay, now what has happened is that our screen has been divided into 12 equal halves, which is a column or grid, whatever you want to call it. Now we can place these cards inside this column and span it across the columns as we need using the column class that comes with Bootstrap. For example, if I create another div and call it class called and put this card, okay, inside this column. Okay, now that I copied this over here, and if you come back over here, you can't see any changes. So to demonstrate, I'm going to copy this line, this column, like several times. And if you come back over here, you can see that our cards are beautifully arranged to different columns. And if we use the this call class, and Bootstrap will automatically assign a column for each of these cards, and it will be responsive also. Okay. So now I'm going to get rid of this style. Okay, now you can see that when we didn't give a fixed width, this design is completely breaking. So what we need to do is we need to assign a fixed set of columns to a particular card. See, for that what we need to do is we can get rid of all these columns first. Okay. And if you want to span across two of the 12 columns that are created by this row class, what you need to do is just put this over here, and you can see that our card is a little bit more wider than it was before. If you change it to 3, yeah, it's getting bigger. 4, see. So if you want the card to span across 4 of these columns, we can use this card. Now you go, see, it's beautifully arranged. Okay, now in a row, if you want to fit 4 cards, what we need to do is we need to change this 4 to 3. Okay, and now we can just copy this one. Okay, so now if you want to make it responsive, for example, this will align 4 cards no matter which screen we are viewing it. So for that, what we need to do is we need to have a mobile first approach. So we'll start from the smaller screens. So in the smaller screens, what we need to do is we need to see the card span across all the 12 columns. Even in this row class, what it does is it will divide the screen into 12 columns no matter what the screen size is. So if we come over here, okay, so what we need to do is by default we need to give these columns the maximum spanning capacity. For example, I'm going to give it 12, which is the maximum number of columns that are available in Bootstrap. So now we can see that in smaller screens it's appearing one after the other, which is what we need. And if we go into bigger screens, it's still it's appearing as one after the other. So okay, now if you want to change the number of cards that are arranged in a row in bigger screens, for example, okay, in this medium looking screen, if you want to change it, what we need to do is give a space and column. In medium level screens, I need it to appear as 2 in a row. Like if I want to fit 2 cards in a column, 12 divided by 2 is 6. So in medium screens and above, that's what the MD means. I want it to be divided into 2 columns, or span across 2 columns. The cards should span across 2 columns, and we can see that it's correctly spanning across 2 columns. And now we can make it more responsive by giving another class like for large screens. In large screens I want 3 cards to be appearing in a row, so for that call LG 3 cards means like 12 divided by 3 is 4, so what we need to do is give it 4, and we can see that in large screens it is arranged in 3 columns. Now if we go small, it goes to 2, and if we go even smaller, it becomes 1. Okay. Now in extra large screen, what we need to do is we can give another class called extra large, and in larger screen I want it to divide into, I want to fit 4 cards in a row. For that I'm going to divide 4 by 12, which is 3. Now we can see that the 4 cards are arranged in a row, and it is highly responsive also. Okay, so that's basically it. The Bootstrap grid system, just come over here and you just go through this documentation. You can see that there are more than many classes like extra small, SM, and medium, large, XL, double XL, all these screen sizes, and many different examples in the documentation itself. Just go through it and you'll get an idea. Okay. And Bootstrap provides a wide variety of components, and we can use these components in our project as we need. Okay, just go through all this. Okay, so that's it guys. I hope you understood how to use the rows and column system in Bootstrap. So if you like this video, please like and subscribe and share your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.